there, drama detectives. It's your girl Holly back with another piping hot Hollywood meltdown. First of all, we've got Meghan Markle blasting Colin Jost on air like there's no tomorrow. But that's just the appetizer, babes, because the real scandal is the rumor that Meghan Markle's carefully constructed public persona is crumbling under the weight of her own contradictions, exposed by none other than SNL's Colin Jost. Yes, you heard that right. So, is Meghan Markle about to lose everything? Buckle up, lovelies, because the tea is scalding and the drama is swirling.
Now, more troubles for poor Meghan.
My goodness, I can't believe you, Colin.
Now, the Sussexes have copped it from comedian Colin Jost on Saturday Night Live.
Colin Jost didn't just deliver a few punchlines. He unleashed a savage roast on Meghan Markle live on national television, and the internet hasn't stopped buzzing since. This wasn't some filtered, pre-approved soundbite. This was raw, unadulterated public humiliation right in front of millions watching SNL's Weekend Update. For years, Meghan's public persona was meticulously crafted. The duchess turned Hollywood icon, a woman fighting the odds with royal backing, global fame, and massive brand deals. Oh my God, you guys, it's so hard. But this carefully polished image took a serious hit real fast, and everybody's been taking a dig at her. This time it's Colin who tore into her latest media moves, exposing the cracks in her royal comeback and the exhausting narrative she keeps recycling. This wasn't just comedy, it was public humiliation on live TV.
Now, the Sussexes have copped it from comedian Colin Jost on Saturday Night Live. He's joked that one of the conditions of Trump's new trade deal with the UK is that Harry and Meghan have to go back. It's pretty cruel, Kinsey.
It's no secret that Colin has been making Markle a recurring punchline. And when SNL targets you more than once, it's not just comedy anymore, it's a cultural commentary. And this time, the punch hit harder than ever, because what Colin said wasn't just a joke, it was a projection of how the public, especially in the US, is starting to feel about Meghan's relentless self-promotion, brand launches, and curated female empowerment messaging that doesn't stick. It's not empowering anymore. It's exhausting. I just want to crawl into a hole and stop yapping about this girl, you know? Colin gave voice to that frustration with a smirk and a microphone. This jab wasn't out of nowhere. It's part of a larger pattern because Meghan's image has been quietly crumbling bit by bit under the weight of her own contradictions.
President Trump also announced a new trade deal with the UK that will reopen British markets for American companies. All that Britain demands in return is that we keep these two.
For somebody who claimed to step back for privacy, Meghan's built an empire based on nonstop exposure. Archetypes, Netflix, Oprah, and now Jam Jar is a lifestyle blog and a cooking show that feels more like a Pinterest board than a real career reset. Yeah, super private there, Mexskis. And SNL, as it's done for decades, saw right through the fluff. Colin just stripped away the glamour from Meghan's carefully curated stories and got real, verse second, behind every carefully scripted podcast. And every empowered recipe reel is the same tired narrative. Oh my God, you guys, look at how hard my life is. Well, here's the thing about Americans. They love a comeback, but only when it feels authentic or is a Disney movie. The Meghan 3 brand doesn't fit either one of those boxes. Instead of showing growth or evolution like a Pokemon, she's just rewrapping the same story in different packaging. That's why Colin's roast landed so perfectly, because it tapped into what people are already thinking, but not always saying out loud. Like, Die Hard's a Christmas movie. I'll fight you in the comments.
Loves it. Funny too that you keep saying Meghan Markle, I'm Sussex now. You have kids and you go, no, I share my name with my children.
Yes.
And that feels so, I didn't know how meaningful it would be to me, but it just means so much to go, this is our family name.
But before we spill all the juicy secrets, do me a solid and slam that subscribe button, smash the like, hit the notification bell, because these celebrities keep giving us material and Mama's got all the dirt. Seriously, it helps me keep bringing you the unfiltered truth about Hollywood's biggest dramas. So go on, do it. You know you want to be part of the Drama Detective Squad. We're just getting started. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Every click, every subscribe, every notification bell smash helps us expose the real stories behind the headlines. It's a win-win. You get the tea and I get to keep spilling it. So what are you waiting for? Join the fam. So according to the rumor mill, Meghan Markle's carefully constructed public image isn't just cracking. It's actively crumbling, and Colin Jost's SNL jabs are merely the most visible symptoms of a deeper, more pervasive public fatigue. Let's start with a spark that lit the flame, the glaring disconnect between Meghan's proclaimed desire for privacy and her relentless pursuit of the spotlight. For someone who claimed to step back for privacy, Meghan's built an empire based on non-stop exposure, archetypes, Netflix, Oprah, and now Jam Jar, a lifestyle blog and cooking show that feels more like a Pinterest board than a real career reset. Yeah, super private there, Meg Skis. This isn't just about a few bad jokes, it's about a pattern of behavior that has left many wondering if the Duchess of Sussex is living in a different reality than the rest of us. Insiders claim that this isn't a new phenomenon. Some people wonder if Meghan's entire post-royal strategy has been a series of calculated moves designed to maintain visibility while simultaneously playing the victim. The theory says that every carefully scripted podcast, every empowered recipe reel, every staged photo op, and every carefully worded admission statement is underpinned by the same tired narrative. Oh my God, you guys, look at how hard my life is. This narrative, once met with sympathy, is now eliciting eye rolls. Hold on, I can already hear your skepticism. Isn't Meghan Markle a happily married mom of 4? Precisely why this rumor is so shocking. The contrast between her seemingly idyllic life and her constant portrayal of struggle is what makes the public so uncomfortable.
People don't want it. You know, they've realized that the person that they liked in the beginning, except for you, because you saw it immediately, didn't really exist.
Now for the holy smokes moment. Remember when Colin Jost used 2 tech billionaires' missteps as the perfect setup to roast Meghan Markle? In Prince Kermit, it wasn't even about them at first, but somehow they all became the punchline. This wasn't just a throwaway joke. It was a sharp, cunning commentary of what so many people had been thinking but hadn't dared to say out loud on primetime TV. In a single line, he managed to draw a contrast between Elon Musk and Prince Kermit, a man whose most defining act in recent years has been abdicating royal responsibility to marry a D-tier actress. The brilliance of the joke wasn't in its cruelty, it was in its precision. Because it didn't attack their love story, it questioned the logic behind turning a once revered royal life into a reality show of contradictions. And the laughter that followed wasn't just a reaction to the punchline, it was a release. A crowd reacting not just to the absurdity of this situation, but to the fact that somebody had finally said it, that Meghan and Harry's Freedom Tour, filled with confessional interviews, multi-million-dollar media deals, and carefully curated authenticity, has started to look less like liberation and more like a branding campaign gone stale. His line pulled back the curtain. It wasn't mocking love, it was mocking how they packaged it. The fairy tale the couple tried to sell of breaking free, forging their own path, protecting their peace, was starting to resemble a PR strategy in disarray. The podcast flops, the book drama, the reality docuseries, the awkward business ventures. Each move they made felt more like an attempt to stay visible than to stay true. And that's what made the joke stick and land. Not because it was mean, but because it was kind of accurate.
I loved my time with Meghan. I'm also like, let her promote her show. I'm here to talk about running. Yes.
This pattern extends beyond SNL. When comedy starts aligning with public opinion, that's when you know somebody's image problem is bigger than just bad PR. It's cultural fatigue. Colin's sarcasm doesn't just mock Meghan, it cuts through the branding. He's exposing what feels increasingly performative. A duchess who left the palace to find peace only to chase fame with even more intensity. Seriously, she's like a little tiny ankle-biting dog chasing a car tire. She's the woman who wanted her privacy and wanted her voice heard, but now she just won't shut up, even when there's nothing new to say. It's like old reruns of the Brady Bunch at this point. It's always Meghan, Meghan, Meghan. These jokes are doing more than entertaining people. They're underlining the growing chasm between Meghan's message and the reality the rest of us live in, between the perfectly curated press releases, staged photo ops, and carefully worded admission statements. There's a glaring disconnect that even comedy writers can't help but spotlight. What's being sold to the public, a narrative of empowerment, authenticity, and humanitarian purpose, is constantly being undercut by the optics of luxury, calculated branding, and a relentless pursuit of visibility. Late-night comedians aren't inventing criticisms, they're simply echoing what's already brewing in public consciousness. The laughter comes not just from the punchlines, but from the recognition that subtle, oh my God, finally somebody said it kind of moment. Because against all that privacy crap, the docuseries, memoirs, podcast deals, and red carpet appearances suggests something else entirely. And that contrast between what's claimed and what's actually practiced is where the comedy's hitting the hardest.
I don't know what I'm doing yet. My business hasn't gotten traction yet. No one's picked up my book proposal yet.
Yes.
I haven't found my soulmate yet. Everything is yet.
The power of yet.
The power of yet.
What's even more striking is Meghan's apparent inability or refusal to grasp why these jokes keep landing in the first place. It's like she doesn't understand that the disconnect isn't just about public reception, but about her own contradictions. Or worse, she understands perfectly and still believes the right amount of glossy branding can override public fatigue. Like, dude, if I'm tired, it doesn't matter how you dress up an energy bar or a candy bar. It ain't gonna make me less tired unless it's a Snickers that'll keep me from acting like Betty White. Either way, the takeaway here is the same. While the world's laughing at the absurdity, she's still playing a role that nobody's buying except maybe herself.
What could it be? A mystery for the ages.
They're ridiculous after that.
Just when you thought the satire couldn't cut deeper, SNL took another swipe. During a Weekend Update segment, Colin didn't hold back. The setup? A tongue-in-cheek announcement about a Suits sequel. But the punchline, let's just say it hit far beyond late-night laughs. That line might have gotten a laugh in the studio, but what made it land was the truth behind the humor. He wasn't just ripping on tabloid gossip. He was tapping into the public's growing skepticism of Meghan and Harry's post-royal narrative. The joke cleverly blurred fiction and reality. Meghan Suits' character, a capable lawyer, now weighed down not by legal battles, but by a husband whose relevance fades with each veiled project. Calling Harry an unemployed immigrant wasn't just a punchline, it was a brutal reframing. A prince who left a palace for California, only to become a meme in the media. Fair or not, it echoed a deeper question: has Harry found purpose, or is he just riding out the perks of Meghan's spotlight and his royal past? Well, he does have a purpose, and that's to sell royal secrets to the world in the name of his memoir. Because when identity, duty, and direction fall apart, there's always profit in rewriting the past for primetime consumption. When Spare was released in 2023, Harry said that there was more to the story. It could have been 2 books, put it that way. Then the hard bit was taking things out, Harry had claimed. And recently, after the security case verdict, he hinted that the sequel of Spare might be on the way. And that's what makes the jab hit even harder. It's not coming out of nowhere. It's part of a long-running pattern.
And come on, Elon built electric cars. He's going to Mars. Why is he even involving himself with Twitter? It would be like if the Prince of England gave it all up just to marry an actor from Suits.
From the very beginning, SNL has treated the Sussex saga not as a fairy tale, but as a running joke, one that's only gotten more layered as time goes on. Even back during their wedding, SNL wasn't pulling punches. Long before the podcast flops and immediate backlash, it was already calling out the absurdity of the narrative. This throwaway line dropped during coverage of their royal nuptials was one of the earliest and sharpest digs, and needed no elaborate setup, just a deadpan delivery that said everything. It's one of those lines that feels like a throwaway laugh until the sting sets in. The brilliance of the joke lies in how it flips the narrative Meghan didn't marry into royalty. The punchline framed it as Harry marrying up, a guy with no job, no direction, and a Netflix freeload, riding the coattails of someone with actual credits. He still lives with his grandma. A perfectly delivered jab, not just at his royal ties, but at his stunted independence. It took 6 seconds to shatter the fairy tale. And more than comedy, it was a cultural gut check, a mainstream moment where someone finally said what a lot of people were thinking. Maybe Harry wasn't the catch. Maybe this wasn't a love story for the ages. Maybe it was just a well-produced pivot out of palace life and into public relevance. And that's the thing about great comedy. It doesn't explain, it exposes. It skips the discourse and delivers one sharp punchline that cracks the whole image wide open. And that's what Colin did again and again through slide jabs and deadpan lines. He's not just mocking a couple, he's holding up a mirror, not to royalty, but to us, to show how far the narrative has.
Pretty well done, man. Okay.
What started as a royal rebellion now feels like a rebrand without a clear direction. The outsider's image is worn thin, and the truth teller's reputation is tangled in PR strategy and selective storytelling. Their every move, once praised, is now met with skepticism. The sincerity once assumed now feels staged, and the backlash, it's not just from royal loyalists, it's from everyday people tired of seeing the same story in different packaging. Now that Britain clearly doesn't want them back and the US seems to be growing tired of them, maybe it's time for her to find a new place to go, someplace where they haven't worn out their welcome. At its core, audiences aren't rejecting Meghan and Harry for leaving the monarchy. They're rejecting the contradictions. You can't denounce the spotlight while chasing content deals.
But you're the same.
You're the same.
Like, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And how hard that is when I'm like, but I'm the same.
You can't preach authenticity while treating every public moment like a campaign. And you can't play victims of media scrutiny while chasing magazine covers and red carpets. It's not the fame, it's the dissonance. This is where SNL thrives, exposing the gap between image and reality. Colin's jokes land not just because they're clever, but because they echo what many people already feel. When he calls Harry an unemployed immigrant or pokes fun at Meghan's role as his publicist, it's not just humor, it's cultural reflection. So whether the Sussexes course correct or keep spinning, one thing's clear. The world's no longer watching with curiosity, it's watching with a smirk. And if they don't shift the narrative soon, they risk becoming exactly what SNL paints them as. Not rebels, not royalty, just running punchlines.
It would have been so much more interesting to me if it was flipped around, where Meghan's TV show was about the build of a podcast. And Meghan, docu-series style, sat there and said, I screwed up with Spotify. I'm going to walk you through how I screwed up with Spotify, and I'm going to build this new podcast with Limonada. And and you're going to watch me screw up again.
It will focus on Meghan Markle's character's struggle to balance her legal career while also caring for an unemployed immigrant.
So, drama detectives, where do we stand after this deep dive into the Hollywood meltdown? We've dissected Colin Jost's brutal honesty on SNL, Meghan Markle's increasingly transparent attempts to control her narrative, and the public's growing fatigue with a story that feels less like a fairy tale and more like a never-ending PR campaign. This rumored drama is either totally baseless, a string of half-baked assumptions, a concoction of internet whispers and comedic exaggeration, or it's uncomfortably plausible given the glaring contradictions in Meghan's public persona. Consider her relentless pursuit of visibility despite fervent claims of privacy, the carefully curated authenticity that often rings hollow, and the consistent comedic takedowns from SNL that resonate deeply with public sentiment. It's a dichotomy that leaves us all scratching our heads.
I would not have taken this far if I didn't have compelling evidence of facts that reveal why the decision was made.
Until the royal court weighs in, or Meghan and Harry offer a truly authentic, unvarnished shift in their approach, we're firmly stuck in speculation land. This isn't a definitive judgment, merely an observation of the swirling currents of public opinion. But keep your critical thinking hats on, lovelies, because none of this is confirmed. We're navigating the murky waters of celebrity perception, where truth and narrative often blur. The real question, the one that keeps me up at night, is this. Will this saga be remembered as a laughable rumor, a fleeting moment of internet outrage, or will it be etched into Hollywood history as the truth behind a bigger meltdown than we ever realized?
Earlier today, Suits actress Meghan Markle married some unemployed dude who still lives with his grandma.
Something tells me we're only at the intermission of this epic show, and the second act promises even more twists and turns. The public's patience, once seemingly endless, is wearing thin, and the spotlight, once a source of adoration, now feels more like an interrogation lamp. The narrative they've so carefully constructed is facing its toughest critics yet. The comedians who dare to speak the unspoken, and the public who, through their laughter, are signaling a profound shift in perception. The ball, as they say, is firmly in their court.
A group of geneticists have announced plans to bring back the dodo and reintroduce it to Africa. And if you ask me, I can think of at least one dodo I'd like to reintroduce to Africa.
All right, drama detectives, we've laid out the evidence, we've explored the theories, and now it's your turn. Drop your thoughts in the comments below because I absolutely need to know where y'all stand on this Hollywood soap opera. Did Colin Jost cross a line, or was he simply the brave soul who dared to articulate what everyone else was thinking? Do you buy into Meghan Markle's carefully curated narrative? Or do you, like many, see the growing cracks in the facade? Your insights, your theories, your unfiltered opinions, they're the lifeblood of this channel, the very essence of our drama detective squad. So don't hold back. Let the comments section be the courtroom where this case is truly debated. And while you're down there, don't forget to slam that like button if you found this deep dive as fascinating as I did. Share this video with your messy besties who live for Hollywood gossip. And most importantly, subscribe to Hollywood Stars Unfiltered for more piping hot tea, unfiltered truths, and all the celebrity chaos you secretly or not so secretly adore. A single like, every share, every new subscriber helps us keep digging for the truth, helps us expose the real stories behind the glitz and glamour, and ensures that no Hollywood secret remains buried for long. It's a collective effort, a shared obsession, and together we'll continue to unravel the most perplexing mysteries of Tinseltown. So hit those buttons, join the fam, and let's keep this conversation, this glorious, messy, utterly captivating conversation going strong. I'm Holly, your chief drama detective, and this is Hollywood Stars Unfiltered, signing off. Until next time, stay messy, stay blessed, and always, always question the narrative. Because in Hollywood, my lovelies, it always can get crazier. Just when you think you've seen it all, another scandal erupts, another carefully constructed image shatters, and another layer of drama unfolds. So grab your popcorn, buckle up tight, and prepare yourselves, because this Hollywood ride is far from over. We'll be here dissecting every twist and turn, every bombshell, every whisper from the inner circles. The curtain never truly falls in Tinseltown, and neither do we. We're the ones who stay up late sifting through the rumors, connecting the dots, and bringing you the unvarnished truth. So until the next piping hot tea is brewed, keep your eyes peeled, your ears open, and your skepticism sharp. The drama never sleeps, and neither do we. See you in the next one, drama detectives, for another dose of Hollywood's most scandalous secrets.